We love the music and the stories behind it. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 music biopics.
And what do you got? You got rock and roll.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the best biographical films about real-life musicians, excluding biopics that are more fiction than fact, such as Amadeus, and those loosely inspired by true stories, such as 8 Mile.
Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
Number 10. Bohemian Rhapsody. We know that this is a contentious place to start, and there'll surely be many a naysayer in the comments, but hear us out. While this musical biopic about legendary rock band Queen and their magnetic frontman Freddie Mercury failed to live up to its potential, said potential was so high that even as it fell short, it remained a cut above most.
So now what?
This is when the operatic section comes in.
The story is at times oversimplified, and Mercury's personal life is unfortunately sanitized and glossed over. But even so, Rami Malek's performance as Mercury manages to elevate the entire film, even when the dialogue disappoints.
You don't make decisions for the band.
Your life is going to be very difficult.
For all that the film lacks, it's still a rousing celebration of an icon.
Tragedy, joy, is something that people will feel belongs to them.
Number 9. La Bamba. Though actor Lou Diamond Phillips is perhaps better known for his television work, in 1987, he owned the big screen as young rock and roll legend Ritchie Valens. A modest movie that was produced on a budget of just $6.5 million, it admittedly looks like a made-for-TV offering by today's standards. But there's nothing made for TV about Phillips's performance. The film isn't afraid to be sentimental or sweet in retelling the Valens story, which was cut tragically short when the musician died in a plane crash at the tender age of 17. La Bamba explores his family life and youth, making this a refreshing musical biopic with more heart than rock star trappings. Number 8. Love and Mercy. Considering its legendary subject, it's shocking how few people have seen or even heard about Love and Mercy. The film stars one of Hollywood's most consistent talents, Paul Dano, as young Beach Boys co-founder Brian Wilson, and the great John Cusack as Wilson in his middle years. Supported by a superb cast that includes Elizabeth Banks and Paul Giamatti, Dano and Cusack expertly convey both the brilliance of Brian Wilson and his struggles with mental health.
Voices.
Since when?
1963.
Wilson himself called it very factual, while critics and fans alike deemed it brilliant.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Number 7. Coal Miner's Daughter. Sissy Spacek is best remembered for her role as the titular Carrie in Brian De Palma's 1976 adaptation of Stephen King's seminal horror story. However, when she was tasked with bringing to life country music icon Loretta Lynn in Coal Miner's Daughter, she once again delivered a transformative performance.
With all my heart and soul I adore you.
Written by Tom Rickman and directed by Michael Apted, the 1980 biopic is a moving film that dives deep into Lynn's voyage from abject poverty in rural Kentucky to a household name. It might not break new cinematic ground, but Coal Miner's Daughter is thoughtful and packs an emotional punch, getting the one thing right that matters the most in a biopic: the story.
I had something I wanted to come out here and tell y'all tonight. But he don't want me to say nothing.
Number 6. What's Love Got to Do with It? Many notable actresses nearly stepped into the sizable shoes of Tina Turner for this 1993 biopic, including Halle Berry, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, and Vanessa L. Williams.
I know you love me, babe, but you never tell me so.
But it's hard to imagine any of those talented women turning in a better performance than the one delivered by Angela Bassett.
It's all happening too fast, you know? The baby and the road and the whole thing.
Adapted from Turner's autobiography, I, Tina, the film was met with critical acclaim, with the reviews highlighting Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne's performances as Tina and Ike. Despite being an excellent film start to finish, What's Love Got to Do with It was largely overlooked by the Academy Awards, a snub that people still reference today.
When you were a young boy, did you have a puppy?
Number 5. Straight Outta Compton. Speaking of Oscar snubs, how about this seminal hip-hop biopic that the Academy somehow only nominated for one category, Best Original Screenplay, despite it being one of 2015's best films?
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Oh, shit. Hey, that was dope, eh?
Retelling the story of landmark gangsta rap group NWA, Straight Outta Compton is expertly directed. Where some biopics struggle to find their pacing, it marches forward with the same unflinching confidence that made NWA into music icons.
Yo, Dre. What up? I got something to say.
The actors bringing the rap legends to life all turn in excellent performances, making Straight Outta Compton a rare biopic that truly fires on all cylinders.
So what you gonna call that bullshit?
Aftermath.
Number 4, Sid and Nancy. Never got into the Sex Pistols? It doesn't matter.
Do yourself a favor.
Despite its niche subject matter, this musical biopic is a must-watch for any fan of tragic love or just good cinema. It follows the story of Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious and his volatile relationship with girlfriend Nancy Spungen. Admittedly, it's a messy tale that's sometimes tough to watch, but it's also, in its own twisted way, a beautiful and touching film. This punk rock Romeo and Juliet may have failed at the box office, but it's one of the best musical biopics ever made, in no small part thanks to the performances of Gary Oldman and Chloe Webb. Number 3, Walk the Line. Now this film requires very little introduction. Starring Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon, and expertly directed by James Mangold, who also co-wrote the screenplay, Walk the Line reintroduced Johnny Cash to an entire new generation of listeners.
When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry.
Tracing singer-songwriter Johnny Cash's life from his childhood to the point of superstardom and beyond, this film is perfectly paced and deeply moving.
Jude. It's not wrong, Jude. This ain't wrong.
Its biggest strength lies in the way Cash is portrayed, avoiding the pitfalls of deification or demonization by showing him instead as the fascinating but flawed man that he was.
June Carter, you give me some time. How much longer will it be till I can call you mine?
Boasting stellar performances from both Phoenix and Witherspoon, Walk the Line was one of 2005's best films, rightfully taking home numerous awards.
Looks like you're going to a funeral.
Maybe I am.
Number 2, I'm Not There. Though a very unconventional biopic, Todd Haynes' 2007 exploration of the life and legacy of folk icon Bob Dylan feels like a perfect approach to a similarly unconventional star.
I can't really tell you how I care.
Rather than attempt to summarize the life of the mysterious and arguably unknowable man, Haynes instead breaks down Dylan into the many faces he wore over the years, charging a different actor with bringing each one to life.
I guess it's for them that I do what I do.
Christian Bale, Cate Blanchett, Richard Gere, Marcus Carl Franklin, Heath Ledger, and Ben Whishaw all play characters not named Bob Dylan, who, together, give us a far greater understanding of the icon than we ever could have hoped to see on screen.
Way I see it, singing's kept me right in this world more than anybody's ever done.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I write the songs, there's no formal arrangement. We make a sound together, and when it feels good, we put it on a tape.
Number 1, Ray. When it comes to music biopics worthy of their subject, 2004's Ray feels like flawless execution.
I'm Jack Lauderdale. Swing Time Records.
Oh, man. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
As Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx rightfully swept the awards circuit, taking home an Oscar, BAFTA, Golden Globe, SAG, and Critics' Choice Award.
This is what I do, man. I gotta make a living. This is what the people want. I don't know no other way.
The thing is, Fox didn't just deliver a solid performance. He made us believe that he was Ray Charles.
Listen to him, man.
I said, baby, baby.
Sure, you can find fault with the screenplay, but even when the pacing or dialogue goes astray, the incredible acting of all parties involved, paired with the incredible true story at its heart, ensures that the film stays on track.
He's right, Jeff. Get him on the bus.
It's a triumph within the genre, and everything a musical biopic should be. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.